Ladies and gentlemen, people of all gender expressions, thank you for checking out the North Bank Media Podcast. I am your host, Patrick Strevens. Joining me on the show this evening was Jesse Cochard. He is the owner and operator of Chez Pierre Cabaret in downtown Edmonton. And going in, of course, I had my preconceived notions that this was a strip club and he was a strip club owner. But, in talking to him, it's much more than that. That's not even a term that he likes to use. So, again, this was great to sit down with somebody and hear in their own words what it is they're doing and what's important to them. This is a legendary night spot in Edmonton. It's been established for over 50 years. It was founded by Jesse's grandfather, Pierre, who is still alive to this day. And incredible history there as far as the struggles that they went through then to become seen as legitimate. And now, of course, with the changing economy, the pandemic, it's just an ongoing sort of struggle for them in some ways, but they've also had good times and they'll continue to have good times. And Jesse's someone who's very innovative and moving forward, but also very much tied to the culture or the business model of what this place was to begin with. So it was great to sit down with him. We sat in what he called the best seat in the house. Sadly, no performance taking place on stage, but that'll come, I'm sure. Jesse's been very gracious to me in the past, allowing me to shoot some scenes for a film at Chez Pierre, and talking about now even screening the film there once we finish it. So, he's a patron of the arts. He's a smart businessman, a very interesting guy, and I enjoyed talking to him. So please enjoy my conversation with Jesse Cochard.
I'm good.
Cool. Alrighty. Jesse Cochard, thanks, man. Really appreciate you doing this.
Thank you, Patrick.
We're sitting here just
live from Chez Pierre's.
Live from Chez Pierre, just feet from the stage.
With no live entertainment. Just two guys on microphones in an empty strip club.
That's about the worst thing you could get in.
Yeah.
How's things going day to day these days for you?
Yeah, day to day is good. It's a lot. I'm working a lot more than pre-COVID. Okay. Yeah, because of these whole hours and the regulations and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, just quickly, we never really, we're historically a nightclub.
Right,
always, right? So it was 9 o'clock, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. opening.
Right.
So, yeah, so historically, it's pretty sweet. I would sleep in all day, sure. hang out with the fam, and come show up for 8:39, open up, mm-hmm. and we sell some drinks, a little bit of food. But with COVID, we're last call right now is at 10 p.m.
Wow, that's got to put a cramp on your style a little bit.
Well, not only mine, Patrick.
There's some other.
Oh yeah, and I know lots of bar industry folks and stuff, and mm-hmm. all really great, amazing people. Mm-hmm. Been working with the city and working with industry for decades and decades and decades, and they have security clearances and checks and all this stuff. And then it's all of a sudden now, your 4 most profitable hours a night are gone, and people are just going to go party elsewhere. So,
ouch.
So yeah, it's a bit of a sore spot for me. But mm-hmm. A lot of bar industry folk, myself included, we don't want to be part of the problem. I want to be part of the solution. So, So for me, if they're saying that we can't serve drinks after 10, okay, it is how it is. Mm-hmm. Is that going to stop people from partying in their homes? No, it's not. It's just actually going to drive more people to that.
Right.
So that's how I feel about all that. But
mm-hmm.
but how that regards to me working personally is, we were opening earlier, and we are doing different stuff. So whereas before it was liquor service only, 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
opening, we tried opening up at 4 p.m.
Oh, boy. How'd that go?
Yeah, not good.
Not so well.
Yeah, we were zombies.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we were tired. The girls were tired.
Right. Yeah, that's early for some of those people.
And nobody was here.
Right.
Nobody shows up at 4 p.m.
No. So that's a good point. Who is coming out to the strip club or the gentleman's club, if you will, these days? It's not necessarily what it used to be.
The strip restaurant.
The strip restaurant.
This is
the
COVID.
strip diner.
It's
Yeah,
strip
yeah.
diner. It is COVID, so we are a restaurant right now.
But you're
so.
still doing dances, right? Like there's still
no live
stage shows.
No live right now
Okay.
for hopefully another couple weeks.
Okay.
I know that they've been saying that to us for a year, so
Yeah.
I laugh a little bit, but
Sure.
it is light at the end of the tunnel, and we'll be able to get our sit-down events going and stuff. And we have a whole bunch of like just really cool, different music type events and different art type events.
Oh.
To mix just to really just for all the adults out there and all the couples out there that they want a safe, fun thing to do. It's a little bit different. We want to be that place. We want to provide that. But so. Just going back a little bit.
Sure.
So we did the 4 p.m. opening. That didn't go good, so we sort of had a good chat with everybody, and we said we'll do power hours 6 till 10.
Okay.
6 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's 4 hours to just pump it as hard as we can. And it took a few weeks, but you know what? People started showing up.
Interesting.
And people started showing up 6 o'clock, and they come in and they sit down, they order a plate of food, because people would come in after dinner.
Right.
9 o'clock, right? So it's changing habits,
Sure.
Just reminding people that you come into Chez Pierre's hungry, come for dinner, don't come after dinner, right? So that's actually been really good. And, we had our pre-recorded shows going, and we had some girls working and stuff, but you're not allowed to have one-on-one dancing right now.
Okay.
So that's what I was told. So the girls are just working on their own things right now.
Sure.
And we got this live stream thing going that we're really trying to build. And
what is that like?
so I have an OnlyFans page.
Okay.
And we do like a free stream Friday. So we hand out like a free trial for the day, and then try to get some girls to do a show. So we have a pole upstairs, and it's just like a computer and a camera.
Okay.
And we have an HDMI capture card, and did some research into like the whole streaming thing. And we sort of got into that a little bit, and
Good for you.
and I down the road, it's going to be big. I really see it because it's a global audience now. Now it doesn't matter if
You're reaching.
Yeah, you're reaching the whole planet. Yeah, and there's a way more competition, mind you.
Sure.
Okay, but Chez Pierre's has a different type of brand, and it's attractive to a lot of people, because they don't really know what it is. There's a little bit of that mystique.
Totally, there is.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's just like, they find out a little bit, then they want to research more and more. So, I definitely, to all those guys sitting, out at camp,
Sure.
or like
sure.
on the other side of the world, and they want to know what's going on a Saturday night, Chez Pierre's at 9 o'clock. Like, I want those people to know what's going on too. And
on.
Yeah. Like eventually, we'll have, a seamless setup that there's the stage show camera, or there's the private dance room camera. And
Cool.
And if you want to pay to see the show, you can pay to see the show, just like you can pay $10 to come in here and watch a show in person.
Pay $10 and come in and find out for yourself.
Yeah, I know. That's the classic because, yeah.
Well, that's probably where it's going in general, right? Like, I would hope there would always be live dances. It's important in some ways, but probably
it's hugely important, and it's something that we definitely can't lose sight of.
Okay.
We have to understand that there is a huge importance to art in our society, and if it's not cultivated, it will be lost. And that's not acceptable in my books at all. We need to, encourage people to become performers and musicians and dancers, and all these people. I feel so bad for these kids that their whole lives were choir and stuff, and then they can't play their one instrument because of COVID.
Right.
It is what it is. Hopefully that they're all able to bounce back and come back even harder.
Yeah.
With more force than before, and really do it. I don't know where I was going.
No worries. I really love the passion there. So do you see is stripping the right word for it, or what do you say?
Well, I call it's like I don't know, strippers. I'm not a huge fan of the word strippers. I call them dancers,
Sure.
performers. Historically, it was always dancers, and you got to going back, like there was no pole. So everybody thinks pole dancer, and they associate that to stripper. And that wasn't even a thing. That's
Sure.
more recent. It was like a girl on stage with a blanket, and she'd come do like a floor show, or she'd work the crowd a little bit, or they would have like the feathers or the fans, and it was more of a cabaret style burlesque. Sure. Yeah, totally. And I love it. I think tons of people love it. It's hugely popular all around the world, you know. And it's a lot of like, I guess like there's a little bit of I don't know, strippers sort of has that connotation, like negative connotation. I don't think that's really elsewhere in the world. Maybe more Alberta. People are unfortunately not as open as they are the rest of the world.
Definitely.
I think, yeah.
So then, without a doubt, that's an art. This is a place for art.
Oh, 100%, Patrick, 100%. And like just going into like the movie, like Give and Take, right? That we met on, like that's pure art.
Sure.
You know, and like that is like, you know, a ton of passion, ton of work poured into, you know, a really passionate director's art piece, you know, and basically one man and a supporting cast getting it done.
Yeah.
And like I was just really happy to be a part of it.
Oh, we were happy to do it. I mean, this was the perfect location for that.
Yeah, yeah, it did. And when it comes out, it might be a little wild, so we'll see.
Yeah, there's some questionable moments in that one for sure. I'm excited to show it to people, man.
Give and Take, yeah, that's a good flashback, man. That's a really good memory. We had a lot of fun. Yeah,
sure did. Yeah, that was the last day of shooting. Was here.
That was the last day of shooting,
and we got stuff from different points in the film, and then. Yeah, there's people dancing on the stage. There was, oh man.
Yeah, oh yeah, because we ended up having that big dance scene, right? And so like, because it was like the club, quotation marks, like nightclub
so
scene.
called. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when did we do the restaurant scene?
The restaurant was earlier in the month, for sure.
In the month.
And yeah, you came out and we're eating some beef heart, you were saying?
Yeah, cow heart, yeah.
Thank you.
I'm an extra, yeah. Oh, it was good, yeah.
That beef heart almost didn't make it into the final cut. But it was like, you have to. How do you not?
No, it was huge. Like it was like we're sitting around this round table. Like it was almost as big as that table. Like that cow had some diabetes or something. That wasn't the healthiest cow, but that heart was cooked pretty good. And like we sat there and ate cow heart and a huge cow heart and cold mashed potatoes and peas to be an extra.
And that's art.
That is art. That is down for the cause at 4 in the morning in some random hotel on the south side.
God, down for the cause. Yeah.
But you know what? Looking back, a great memory.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, great memory. You know, something to look back to fondly. So
totally, definitely. So I think it's very interesting. I did some research on Chez Pierre yesterday to kind of get ready for this, and what a hell of a story.
Oh man, just unreal.
How's your grandpa doing these days?
50 years.
Don't mind me asking.
Yeah, he's
50 years. Yeah.
He's gonna be 96 years old. Yeah.
Wow.
He's gonna be 96. Yeah. I haven't seen him in a little bit because of all the COVID stuff.
Sure.
But no, they did pop in before December.
Okay.
And they were downtown having dinner, and they came in and said hi, and I had a bunch of food orders going, so I got to show him like the kitchen and stuff, and like
nice.
I just really hope, you know, that he's proud, and I hope the rest of my family sees that, you know, I'm working as hard as I possibly can, and you know, I know in my heart that it's going to pay off, you know, like I've put so many thousands of hours into this place, and you know, the history is unreal.
Definitely.
You know, it was just, you know, fucking off the chain back in the 80s and the 90s, and the place was packed, you know.
Is that right?
Yeah, the place was packed, and they made lots of money, and they had lots of fun, and, you know, all the stories I hear from all the customers back then were that this place was the place to be, the place. Wow. And, like, to be someone that wasn't even born in that time, like, you know, it sort of puts me in awe a little bit.
Right. And so you feel like even if you don't get back there, you still there's a legacy there to uphold and at least continue forward.
Totally, in my mind. 100%, like, you know, big shoes to fill, you know.
Yeah.
Like my grandpa, like, is the man. He's the man. Everybody looks up to him.
Right.
You know, and, like, not perfect by no means. Nobody is, you know, but, like, he came here, you know, with nothing, you know, and this like, the story he tells is, like, $5 in his pocket.
Wow.
And, you know, they landed on the East Coast, and they almost froze to death their first week because they had little suits falling from Europe. They weren't ready for the, you know, 40 below Montreal, you know, snowfall. And, like, totally just different level of,
No kidding.
toughness, mental strength. I think that they needed to, survive a world war and then come here with a friend. And, so the story he always tells is they were driving, they bought this car, they saved up and they bought a car.
Okay.
Like a model 1920s model Ford sort of thing. And
Okay.
the signs were like, go west,
Sure.
young man, go west,
Yes.
Go west, find work, yada yada. So they're like, okay, well, let's do this. So they get in their car and they're driving, and it's like Trans-Canada is not a highway; it's like a dirt,
A dirt road.
yeah,
Yeah.
not very much better than it is now. But if you go through the mountains, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah. So, anyways, I guess they got to Edmonton, and it was like middle of a snowstorm, and their car broke down. And
Welcome to Edmonton.
yeah, and that was it. They just stayed.
Yeah.
And that was
What, he came over from Belgium?
from Belgium.
In
yeah.
the 50s?
Yeah, so it would have been, after World War II.
Okay.
Yeah, so, mid-50s.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was a boxer.
Yeah, he was a boxer. Yeah, he was a fighter. He had tons of fights under his belt. And, his buddy sort of promoted him. And he fought Sugar Ray Robinson here in Montreal in, like, 54. I have a 53, 54. I have a poster.
Oh, wow.
And it's like Sugar Ray Robinson was, for people that aren't big boxing fans, was the welterweight championship of the world, undisputed.
Okay.
Okay, he was the man. And I guess Pierre didn't even, he picked up this fight on like 2 days' notice.
Oh, boy. Wow.
Because the guy dropped,
Sure.
out, right? I was supposed to fight him.
They needed somebody.
And he had no clue.
He had no clue who he was.
Well, he didn't even know who he was fighting.
Oh, God.
So
Okay.
so he walked in there and it was just like, oh fuck, like, it's Sugar Ray, like, and yeah, apparently like 6 or 7 rounds with him, and like
Hung in there?
Yeah, hung in there, and like he said his whole side was black and blue for
Oh, my.
weeks and weeks, but yeah, funny because it was like I think he told me, I got paid like $500 for that fight. So I think that was the $500 they bought the car with
Oh, no.
to drive to Vancouver, to the West Coast. So, like, just really fictitious for
Wow.
everything.
I-
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So did they never make it to Vancouver? They stayed?
They
stopped?
stayed, yeah, their car broke down here, and they stayed here.
And then in 1970, he founded Chez Pierre?
Yeah, well, they had actually, in the late 60s, they had a club in Grand Prairie.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And, him and his wife Darlene started that, and it was like a discotheque.
Okay.
So, BYOB.
Interesting.
Yeah, discotheque.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like, whatever, how many cents for a pop and a couple bucks to get in.
Okay. Is that like a European thing he brought with him? That part of
Yeah.
the culture? Like a dance club?
Yeah, discotheque, yeah.
Okay, discotheque.
Yeah, totally. Like 10 o'clock opening,
Okay.
10 to 4 sort of thing. And
Ah, late night.
Oh, yeah, well, over there, it's no one's going out till midnight.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't have dinner till 9 p.m.
Yeah, you're not having dinner till 9 or 10, so so totally, so he brought that over here, and then I don't know how long they had that, but it was like the green door. Like that was like,
okay.
it didn't really have, I don't know if it had a name or what, but it was like, it had a green door, so everyone referred to it as the green door, I guess, and the stories that I've heard. But anyways, they came here, and they opened Chez Pierre's like 1950. Sorry, not 1970.
Okay.
1971, and it was originally above Boston Pizza.
Right. A little further from here on Jasper?
Yeah, just around the corner.
Right.
Yeah, and someone found a really cool picture of that Boston Pizza, and it's like Chez Pierre's. Sorry, right on top of
No
it.
worries.
So yeah, so
Cool.
Yeah, so they did that for
10 years.
10
about?
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, about. Yeah. and
Okay.
Then,
Then he came here.
And then he came here, and he always told me like his first 10 years were very tough. Like
Yeah.
I think Alberta was quite conservative, and like, and he did this stuff like he had the girls dancing in the windows.
Oh, boy.
And like I guess people didn't like that very much, and he had all this stuff with this reverend, and they were
Right.
Yeah, in the 80s they sort of, I guess, had like a letter writing campaign, and like just a campaign to sort of like get him closed down,
Right.
like with the church across the street, right?
Right.
Yeah, and they just had their centennial a few years ago, so I mean they've been around a long time, but yeah, I guess they did not like Pierre, they did not like Grandpa at all, and yeah.
Because they said that he was doing something that was getting people worked up and then going out and buying into the sex trade.
Well, yeah,
was one thing I came across.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally. And like, it's like, yeah, you're getting, it's like the whole Reefer Madness. Like,
Sure.
oh, you're in such a frenzy. Like, you, yeah, they just whip them up into such a frenzy. And like,
Right.
I don't know.
Is that how people are?
No, I don't think so. I think people need a little bit of a release, and and if you have like a place where you can go out and hang out with some other adults, like maybe
Sure.
that's a good thing. But yeah, I guess they tried to hammer the door shut.
Really?
Yeah. So, but he had because it was like such a big media thing, right? Like it just snowballed into this huge media thing. So one of the CTV guys or whatever called him and was like, "Oh yeah, they're coming right now, Pierre. They're coming with the bus and their boards and their hammers." So Pierre was like, "Oh, we gotta get down there." So he grabbed Guy, which is his right hand man,
Sure.
limo driver,
Okay.
little Guy, and he's like, "Go park the limo right in front, block the doors." So yeah, they blocked the doors and they parked the limo right in front, and they're waiting, and television crew's there, and the bus pulls up, and Pierre just storms right up to the bus, and totally. And then the pastor, gets out, and Pierre's right up to his face.
Wow.
He's like, "What are you gonna do?" He's like, "What? You're gonna nail my door shut? Where are your hammers? Where are your nails?" And I guess they had forgotten their hammers or something.
Oh.
And he had just confronted them so fast, they just didn't know what to do. So yeah,
Wow. What year was that roughly? Like in the 80s sometime?
Yeah, that's got to be 80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, because that was after they moved here.
Sure.
Yeah. I've done some digging, and I have some just from going to the archives down at the library and stuff.
Cool.
I've done a few days down there, and
neat.
Yeah, I did some stuff online. So with more digging, I'm sure maybe there's people out there that have articles and clip outs from back then, and they want to send them in to Chez Pierre's. Please do that.
Well, right on. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody listening, if you got a story or some kind of artifact,
an article or a photo or whatever, email them to us at chezpierrecabaret@gmail.com. And
Beautiful.
We love that stuff. There was I guess an LGBTQ stuff article that just came out, and we were featured in it, and just the person that was writing it, it was saying Pierre was just so heavily accepting of having these drag queen shows and stuff here back in the day, in the male strippers.
Yeah.
So so we got, can't remember off the top of my head, I think it was a year or two ago, but yeah, there's so much stuff. People still message the Facebook page almost every day, and just oh hey, I used to work for Pierre, and I just, if you see him, just tell him thank you. I'm just really happy he was there for me. And a lot of people, maybe they were in some dark moments, and this place sort of helped them. And I definitely see that out there, and those are the kind of stories I really like to hear. And
that's cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think it is that a place like this, like a cabaret, a dance club, where there is nudity, there is topless dancing and all that, what does that give to people? What does that do for them they can't really get?
Well, thank God. That's a good question, man. I've been thinking about that for years.
Right.
Years and years. And these girls, it totally is, man. A lot of them are like therapists. You gotta imagine.
Right.
You're single, or you're working in a cubicle. You don't have a wife, you don't have a kid. You're lonely.
Sure.
And that is your life.
Right.
And Friday night rolls around, and you're just excited all week just to go to Chez Pierre's, because there's actually some people that give a shit and will, sit down there and have a drink with you and talk to you and ask you how your day is.
Wow.
And anybody can come to my bar, me or my wife. Well, the first thing, how are you doing today? It's oh man, there's some nice people out there I can actually talk to. Not a computer screen.
Sure, it's real.
It's
right?
real.
Yeah.
It's real. It's in your face, and it's how do you transfer that with COVID to virtual? So I've been racking my brain a lot about that. How do you do that? But yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of appeal to a place like this, and there's a lot of good reasons to come here.
Sure.
If you just want to blow off a little bit of steam, you just want to relax, you just want to sit down and not have anybody know who you are for a few minutes and get away from your phone and actually have a chat, that's what this place is all about. And watching a kick-ass show, of course.
Right. It's exciting, right? It's like, I haven't been to too many clubs in my time, but I noticed that when you're there, it's actually a very relaxed environment. It's like, well, the one thing we want is like right there.
Yeah.
So let's just everybody shut up and just. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah. The whole thing of it, like I go into the strip club to look at tits with your guy friends. Like
right.
I always thought that like is a little bit weird. Like it is.
It is for sure.
But
we do it though.
But we do it, and you know what? It's not even really those guys that are keeping this business going. What it really is like it's couples and it's women. Yeah, 100%, Patrick. We have so many couples that come through here on a daily basis because they love it. Like you have 3 kids and your whole life is your kids. And finally on a Saturday night you have a babysitter. You go for a nice dinner and drinks and you go to Chez Pierre's and you watch a show. Like, yeah, that gives your life a little bit of excitement.
No doubt.
Real excitement. And if that's a problem, like, I guess I'm wrong.
I don't think it's a problem. I think there's something, there's a reason that it exists.
Oh, 100%.
And it has probably existed for hundreds of years.
The saying goes, world's oldest profession.
Right.
And and stripping definitely is there. Cabaret, burlesque, all of that. It has, Paris, Moulin Rouge, all that. Like, that's grandiose shows, man. Like, that's what people really want.
Yeah, they want some.
That's what they want. Like, that's cool, man. You're watching a full team of people,
right.
12, 13, 14 girls working together, done up to the nines, a full band playing. Like, that's cool. Like, I would go to one of those shows all the time, for sure. So we're trying to take a little bit of that and bring it here. But also, because times have changed, you can't do the same thing. So what we had going for us, which was really good, is we had some live music and we had some dancers and we were bringing good food into the mix and good quality drinks and just building a good environment around that.
Right. That's very cool, man. So it's more about, I spoke to a guy who runs a restaurant kind of west of here in Crestwood, and I was bitching about, small portion sizes or food's overpriced or whatever. And he said, you know what, you're paying for the food, but you're paying for the whole experience in a way, right? So it seems like that's what you guys are doing. You're trying to offer a bunch of different.
Oh yeah, totally. And you name it, like drag shows, opera, emo nights, R&B nights, like you name it, We've done open mics, we've done movie shoots, we've done TV shoots, and like all that's just a process of sort of being open to trying different things. Like, is everything going to work? No. Is everything going to mix with the customer base that I have here? No. And sometimes it's gone not great.
Okay.
Because you have people here looking for one thing and there's something else.
Right.
But it comes down to just a management issue, and it's just like scheduling. I have I have these 2 days off. We're talking my Sunday, Monday off.
Yes.
Usually hang out with my family, but like if somebody wanted to do a show, or my wife knows she has these days open, she could plan something, and so people could come in and use this strictly as a venue.
Okay.
So if they want to do their show, they can do their show, however they want it.
Neat.
And then it's like you have a whole cast of supporting characters like myself and my wife that are there to support that show, right?
Yeah.
So we can really do some amazing things, for this tiny place and a couple people, a small team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not, I didn't really even, I guess I didn't think about that, but yeah, you're not just a strip club. Like that's one dimensional.
No, totally
you're much
one
more than
dimensional.
that.
Yeah.
You're a venue for
anything,
for the people. Yeah.
And like that was, it was something we sort of tinkered around with before. But like for me, I always I hear the name Cabaret, Chez Pierre Cabaret, and it just brings me to just the root of that is big shows, and that's music, entertainment, singing, comedy, you name it. It should mix it together. One of our best shows that we had going pre-COVID, my wife did, was stripperoke.
Okay.
What is stripperoke?
I don't know.
Yeah, you sing, they strip. They sing, they strip. Like you name it.
Any combination of
it's just a fun time.
It sounds like fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Because the girl, was trying to dance to some dude butchering her song, and
That's hilarious.
Oh, it's hilarious. It is.
And you're getting the customers involved with the entertainers. It's
huge.
A mix.
Yeah, a total mix. And the biggest thing I gotta give credit to Maddie, my wife. There, we took a Wednesday night, which we were making fuck all.
Yeah.
To a night where we're doing good.
It's your big night almost, or one of the.
To being like a big night. Yeah, 100%. So
cool.
I thought that was awesome. I'm not a great singer, so I didn't get involved too much. But yeah.
As an observer, it was.
No, I did. I got involved.
Okay.
I did.
Right.
I did. I'm not that shy. I will go up there and.
Well, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is your business.
Been around this place too long to be
yeah,
shy. Yeah.
I guess, eh?
Yeah, totally.
I'm still curious though about the dancers, and I can't come to a place like this and not ask who are these women? Is there a constant? Is there something about them that draws them to this?
Yeah, no, that's a really great question. I'm very lucky here that we have a stable rotation of girls.
Okay.
House girls basically is what it's always been, and the difference between a house girl and a circuit girl. House girl hangs out at the one club or the one town, and they're there every night.
Okay.
And that offers lots of benefits to the regulars. It's like anything, it's got its ups and its downs, right? But the benefits that I see is what happens is you have regulars come in that actually can start to develop more of a relationship with a house girl, because if they're on the circuit, they're gone. So say you got a girl from Toronto, yada yada, come in, fall totally head over heels in love with her, and then she's gone next week. You never see her again in your life, period.
Weird.
Boom. Done.
Sure.
Your head's spinning. What the hell happened?
Who was that?
Well, who was that? I'll never know.
Right.
So that's sort of like the circuit. And that's cool. It's
Sure.
good to have that. I like having it a little bit more structured than just pop in, disappear.
Okay.
It's like come in, work for a few weeks, take off for a few months, come back. Because then they know they can build their clientele, they can build their fan base to be here when they show up. And a lot of it is my grandpa always said, Jesse, customers don't go there to see you. They go there to see the girls. And I'm like, 100%, man. But nowadays, people do come here to see me, because we have good drinks, we have good food. But I don't need to toot my own horn anymore.
That's okay.
But no, the girls, if it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for the regulars, I wouldn't have a business.
Sure.
To be honest. And a lot of these girls work really hard on, making sure that customers leave happy, that they want to come back. They come in, they have a relaxing time, and they're not going to get into trouble. They can watch a show, they can have a drink, they can eat a plate of nachos, and it's fine.
Right.
It's totally fine. You can sit here and eat chicken wings and watch a girl get naked. There's nothing wrong with that at all. People might be dancing on the floor, or there might be a DJ or a band. It's all pre-COVID, of course.
Yeah.
But that's sort of the environment I want to structure. I want it to be all inclusive.
Cool.
Everybody can come here.
So how do you? That's great.
Yeah.
How do you go about bringing a dancer into your rotation?
Well,
do you audition. You must.
Yeah, another good question.
I'm full of them.
The $1 million question.
Sure.
Everybody wants to know. It's funny because I'll just for anybody that listens to this, I'll destroy your fantasy a little bit.
Okay.
No, it's pretty normal. I just talk to them.
Yeah.
It's just like a regular interview. But I really, it's funny though, because the best ones really fall from the sky. 100%, always for this place. And and I mean, what I mean by that is I did not go out and actively recruit them at all. There was no ads, job wanted. There wasn't that. None of that. It's not like I went out there to seek them. They had in their mind, for some reason or fate or whatever, brought them here. Fell out of the sky. That's what I call it.
Okay.
Those are the best ones. And the reason is because yourself, I'm sure, before you did a little bit of research on the history.
Right.
They'll do the research.
Ah.
And then they know
Right.
if they have done their research, then they know they're more comfortable walking in here. And that's smart. That's insanely smart for them. And it's great for me because then I know that people that come here are reasonable and responsible and committed and not flaky.
Right. Yeah.
You know, because that's something that you deal with in this business a lot.
Sure.
You know, and it's not just the strip club, quotation mark strip club industry. You know, any service, bar, food service, you're going to get that.
Okay.
People don't show up. People are hungover, yada yada. You know, but I try to hold myself, especially now, it's, you know, it's to as high a standard as I possibly can, and I expect my girls and everybody else here to do the same. And coming back after COVID, it's really going to be like, if they can't do it, then don't be here, because there's going to be a lot of people that want to be here. You know?
I bet.
Yeah, like there's not a lot of places like this left. You know, I've worked incredibly hard to keep it open. I don't want to have any issues with drama ever, but I mean, it happens. Like on a film crew, there's always going to be issues, right? But not everybody has to like each other. They have to show up to work and act professional.
Right. Right.
That's the business.
Right. Sounds simple, but maybe not.
It's incredibly simple, but it's also incredibly easy to fuck up.
Okay.
And that's sort of like the classic. This place, everybody, oh yeah, Jesse, you got the best job ever, man. I want your job, you know. And like I just, yeah, sure,
Sure, you wish.
Yeah, you wish, you know. And then like the smart people look at me and they go, oh, Jesse, like I would never want your job.
How do you do it?
How do you do it? Like the headaches you deal with are unreal. And like, yeah, they are sometimes. They're also like any organization, you're gonna have headaches.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, it's always just people relating to it.
Yeah,
it's a human resource.
Interpersonal relationships are fucking complicated.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I guess you throw some liquor and you throw the entertainment side of things.
Oh yeah, and you throw booze and money and jealousy in there.
Sure.
Oh yeah, you got a, you know, nitro keg just ready to go. So yeah, but that's, I guess, part of the excitement of it. But like,
sure.
But for me personally, I just like, I've been here long enough now. I just got a level head. I just enjoy what I do. You know, I enjoy making people happy. I enjoy people coming in here having a good meal and a good time, wanting to come back. That's what my grandfather was always about. You know, is the smiling face at the front door, greeted you in person, and it's like, where else can you go? I mean, quotation mark strip club, and that the owner is there.
Yeah, and putting his face out there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
And like serving you a table.
That's wild.
Or like taking your cover at the door. That's different.
Right.
That is different. Everybody can see that. You know, even if they don't know it, they can see that. And it's cool.
It is.
It is. Nothing's better than meeting the owner. You know, like.
Then you feel like you're welcome and you're part of something, right?
The owner comes over and buys you a drink. Like.
Come on.
That makes me feel awesome anywhere I go.
No doubt.
You know, like, make people feel a little bit special. What's wrong with that?
If you're enjoying this conversation, please subscribe on YouTube and give us a like. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please subscribe and leave a 5-star review. And now, back to the conversation.
So how long your grandpa moved the place here in the 80s, and how long did he was like the sole, he's the owner still?
No,
you're the owner.
I'm the
now.
owner. Yep.
So how long did he maintain sort of control?
Yeah, he's a long time, man. But like, you know, up into the 80s and the 90s, like, you know, like any owner, you want to take a step back, and like he was able to, and he had some guys running it, and unfortunately, it went downhill.
Right.
You know, in the 90s, like, you know, like 80s, mid 90s was sort of like the end of the heydays, you know.
Sure.
And I wasn't here, so it's hard for me to comment.
Sure.
But yeah, I guess it just wasn't good. You know, when I came in, just to give you a little snapshot when I started, like a lot of the girls were in their 50s.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know, like I can tell by your look on your face, you weren't expecting that.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, so I mean, and like amazing ladies, you know,
sure.
Some of them have been here for 20 years, but like
nothing against them.
Nothing against them. Like the average age was 50. There was ones in their 40s. There was ones that were 45. The youngest girl we had working was 28. The next youngest one was 35. All the other ones were above their 40s, and like been here a long time, you know. Great women. I talked to them lots. You know, awesome to hang out with. But like they were here maybe a little bit too long.
Okay.
And sometimes, you know, that's on them. Sometimes it's just on the circumstance. But like, you know, so that was sort of the state that the club was in.
Okay.
It was old. You know, the chairs were old. The carpets were fucking dusty, you know. Everything was falling apart.
Yeah.
You know, the pipes were leaking, and, you know, like the chairs had nails sticking out of them because, you know, they're collapsing. And that is what it is. And like, you know, so my Uncle Barton, who I miss dearly, who passed away, I was working for him, and he was the one that really started to bring these positive changes in.
Okay.
And I was just a kid, you know, 18, 19. I had no clue what I was doing. I worked in the oil patch for a year, and, you know, so I thought it was tough.
Sure.
Coming out from the rigs, you know, being a pipe fitter, yada, yada. But, like, I was nothing. I was just some dork from high school, and, you know. And, yeah, so coming here, I learned a lot.
I bet.
Very fast. And, you know, we started bringing in, and he started this process of fixing the place up and bringing in younger dancers, right? And it was hard. He had to get rid of some people that were here for a long time, and that must have been incredibly difficult.
No doubt.
You know, I'm sure it was. I was here for a couple of them, so. But you know, that's how it is in this business. So for me personally, I try to do things like a little bit differently. Like I wouldn't necessarily want a dancer here for 25, 30 years. As incredibly loyal as that is, maybe that's not the best for them.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it would be my responsibility to try to help that person to expand beyond this and like and like use that money to go to school. So yeah, what I try to do now is like with the dancers here, they're younger, but it's single moms and students. And
is that right?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Everybody's in school. Like everybody is.
Okay.
You know, and like I went through university myself, so I know how incredibly difficult it is. And I think that's huge, especially for women. It's incredibly important to go to university. And, you know, if you can make some good money and go to university, why not?
Why not?
You're only young once.
Yeah.
You know, like you want to be old and wrinkly, and I never had fun in my life. Well, no, I was a fucking hot star.
Yeah, I was a star.
I shook it, and I made fucking bank, and I got my fucking dentistry done. Whatever.
Yeah. Who are you to judge? You didn't do it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's how you know. You know, when you're doing things right is when you have haters.
That's so true, man.
So
if,
true.
If no one's talking shit in your DMs or to your face or whatever, behind your back, whatever,
you're not doing it right.
You're not pushing it.
You're not doing it right.
That's been a huge thing from this podcast is I really learned to really, really stop judging people. And if a woman wants to go and do that,
go right ahead.
Yeah. But I would now ask you, have you seen cases where there's a person who's in a dark place and they're doing it for the wrong reasons?
Yeah, I mean, drugs and alcohol affect everybody, especially right now. Like, it's all just really coming to the surface, you know, how bad it is. Like, I have battled addiction issues myself, so I know I'm not going to go into them.
No problem.
But at the same time, like, alcohol is terrible. Alcohol is evil, 100%. You know, and I run a bar, so I know.
So you know.
I know. But when used responsibly, medicinally, it's a blast. That's why everybody drinks. That's Alberta. Everybody drinks. Everybody's an alcoholic. But, you know, it's a terrible thing, binge drinking.
Right.
It's a terrible thing. It destroys your body. It destroys your mind. You'll end up in an early grave or in the hospital, and I've seen it so many times. And so that's why, for me personally, I don't drink heavy anymore. That was just a personal choice.
Sure.
It doesn't affect people great, you know.
No. It impairs your judgment.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like what you're asking, there have been cases of people, you know, the money and the drugs and the alcohol go to their head, and they don't leave in a better position when they started. but everybody makes their own judgment.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a serious thing. A lot of people think it's a joke, and that's wherein lies the problem. You know, it's too easy to get caught up into it.
Right. So do you check in with your staff, with your dancers every
Oh,
so
yeah.
often? Say
Well,
like, you good?
Well, I bartend, so I mean, and my wife bartends, so.
Okay, that's cool. You're on the front lines. Basically.
Oh yeah, so I mean, if they're drinking too much, I just cut them off. Like that's it.
Okay.
Like, but like a fine line, Patrick. At the same time, because people like have handbags and purses and stuff. So I mean, like if you do cut them off completely at the bar, maybe they'll just drink in the back. Or right. So there's like, you know, you want people to have, they're performers. They're allowed to have a drink.
Yeah.
You're a band playing at a bar. You're allowed to have a fucking beer. Okay, you're a dancer doing your thing. You want to have, you know, a cocktail to get warmed up. That's fine.
Okay.
That's totally fine. And what's not fine is if you're sloshed and you're falling over the place and you can't perform, or you show up late, or it affects you, or it affects the business. That's not okay. And I've seen that a lot of times. Yeah, I have lots. I had a girl that worked here, and she didn't work here for very long, but she wasn't that bright. And just like a lot of issues. One day she shows up just hammered, and I'm at the door, and I'm like, what's going in? So what's going on? I like buzz her in. I'm like watching her. She's like fucking hammered. Fucking minute later, these two cops come in, and yeah, she was so drunk at the bar beforehand that some innocent bystander, you know, or some like, you know, bystander called the cops and followed her here.
Wow.
And I fired her on the spot. You know.
Well, it's a liability at that point.
Huge liability issue. And like, you know, but that's like me, like, you know, maybe I'm a little bit too nice. Maybe I give people too many chances, and, you know, like, but that was like so bad. It was blatant. So anything like that, like, no, you're out so fast. And, but like, I like to give everybody a chance. I think everybody deserves one chance or a couple chances. And like, you know, I'm like, just like, yeah, she made a mistake. Didn't mean she didn't deserve the chance to begin with, you know?
Right. Yeah.
That's how I figure it.
That's probably that's fair. And it kind of goes with the brand and the ethos here, where it's like, we're all human. We're all just doing our best in some sense.
Yeah. There's basically two big rules. It's like, you know, don't get drunk on the job and don't leave with customers.
Okay.
That's it.
Pretty
Like
fair.
it's simple. Other than that, you just got to do your job. Like this is adult entertainment. This is not a brothel.
Right.
You know, and people sometimes forget that. It's one thing to come in here, you know, with your old lady and get riled up and, you know, go fuck like horny teenagers afterwards.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
That's what this business is.
Kind of what it's here for.
That's what this business is. That's what we're here for, right? But some people, they don't get that. They don't understand it's strip tease. It's tease.
Right.
It's fantasy. Okay? It's a show. It's a game. It's an act. That's what it's all about. It's not like if you want to go get service, there are, even during COVID, there are plenty of places that you can go do that all over Edmonton.
Okay.
And that's legal.
Is it?
I guess. Yeah, they're licensed body rub centers through the city of Edmonton. There's like 30 or 40 of them. And
really,
like, I don't know if they wear a face shield or not.
Are they sanitizing
and
in
glove
between?
in between? But like, it's so silly that these places are allowed to open, and yet like a girl can't dance on stage.
That's horseshit.
Oh, it's terrible. So bad. And then at the same time too, like, you know, taking people's whose lives were already tenuous, you know, because a lot of people, you know, are living day to day. You know, they're trying to make their rent, and then all of a sudden you take that last job that they have from them. What are they going to do? They're going to end out in the street.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that's what this is doing to people. And I've seen it a lot in the last year, and it's very sad.
Yeah.
And it makes me angry, but it gives me also the fight to get through it. You know, and like what we were talking about just all the changes for this place, just
Sure.
to sort of get through, like with the food and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's been an unreal amount of struggle, you know.
I was gonna ask, like, running a business downtown for the last year, have you seen a change on the streets?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What
I
does
mean,
that look
it
like?
wasn't. It
pretty
it
before,
hasn't been
but-
great before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, and like the last 10 years. So check the time real quick.
Yeah,
here.
no problem.
We're still doing good. We can go for a bit longer.
Sure.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, it hasn't been good, really. You know, downtown Edmonton's pretty rough. You know, especially at night.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why we got lights and cameras and stuff. You know, somebody was trying to drill into our front door.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like legit, and like chiseling away at it, like chipping little bit by bit.
And they were gonna get in, they figured, and
Yeah, I guess so.
wow.
I don't know
what they thought.
Yeah. Yeah, my,
Weird.
My maintenance guy, Steve, Papa Steve, man, you know, my cab driver buddy gives me a hand with stuff, and like he's like, yeah, I gotta come look at this Jesse. And they're like, yeah, these guys are unreal.
Yeah.
Like
Desperate though, right?
Oh yeah, what used to happen all the time when I started working here was we'd always get our locks glued. So people would put super glue in your locks. I'm like, don't do this to people. Don't take this as like advice. Like, it was a horrible experience.
That's awful, yeah.
Tons of times, like
But
you
why?
come to work. Well, people, yeah.
Just to fuck with you.
Well, yeah, like 50 years of history.
Sure.
Ups and downs. Like,
That's
you
a good way
know,
to look at
maybe
it.
there were some people that weren't so up at the end, and they're a little pissed off, and like I guess they'd get their kicks off by gluing our locks, and it cost you a couple $100 every time to call the locksmith.
Hey, I wanted to ask you what the
Yeah.
process was like when you became the owner here.
Oh yeah,
Was that-
totally.
was
yeah,
that like
we
a-
can chat.
anyway.
No, we can chat a little bit. Yeah, totally.
Sure.
Like I was running it for my grandfather. Like, you know, like I mentioned earlier, unfortunately, my uncle passed away, and so I was sort of just running it, and yeah, it was just crazy, just such a crazy time. Didn't really know what I was doing, and
Yeah.
you know, in over my head, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, but I managed to get it under control, I feel, and I
Yeah.
started to do things like fix the leaky pipes and you know, clean up the place and replace the furniture and repaint the walls and patch the plaster, and like just these little things that, you know, over the years they just fallen. So the more I did that, the more like I became attached to the place. And you know, my grandfather, he it was pretty funny actually. So he says to me, because I've been running it for about a year and a half on my own
Okay.
for my grandfather, and he says to me, he goes, Jesse, he goes, I'm not getting my security clearance this year. You can do it. Like, way too late. So I'm like, oh, like, this is back when it took like 3 or 4 weeks to get your security clearance. Now it's a day.
Oh.
So, and you need that for the license.
Okay.
So I go rush down to the security clearance place the next day. And this is like, he tells me this like a couple of days before Christmas. Like, so I should have been on this like December 1st, you know, for January 1st.
Sure.
So anyways, I go rush down there and, you know, get my security clearance. So comes late, we go to reopen, no license. So I'm running with like out of license for a week. You know, just like fuck, you know. And finally security clearance comes in, so we go down to the licensing office to do the license. So he's like, okay, I'm going to give you the company, you can run it. And he's going to transfer it over to me, and then he goes, well, no, he goes, I'm actually going to keep half. So it'll be 50-50 owners. And I'm like, okay.
Okay, Grandpa.
Okay, Grandpa. So then we go, we do all the paperwork, and we go back, and yeah, they go, well, Pierre, you don't have your security clearance, so you can't get your license. So it was like, we needed our license.
Right.
So we went back, and yeah, that's sort of how I became sole owner of Chez Pierre's. And
It wasn't the plan originally.
no, it wasn't. No, like no, totally at all. Like I was just running it, and
Okay.
it was like totally sort of just dropped on me a little bit, like. And it's funny because it's like there's literally a grandfather clause in business. I don't know if you know this. Yeah, for like businesses. So because he's actually my grandfather, I'm like basically the only person that could run it. because if he was to sell or I was to sell, for example, or somebody else, or you, say Patrick, would want to buy Chez Pierre's, I wouldn't be able to transfer the license to you. They're non-transferable.
Okay.
Unless you're grandfathered.
Literally
grandfathered, right?
That's funny.
So yeah, that's sort of how I came to do it. I got grandfathered, and then it became my responsibility. And so it was a really crazy time. The biggest thing was I wanted my alcohol license. I wanted my liquor license.
Right. When you guys didn't have one until 2015.
2013 we got it. Yeah. Okay. 2013. Yeah. Okay. So totally. Yeah. It was crazy. Like, everyone coming in. Oh, we want a drink. Sorry, no booze.
Right.
Turn around and leave.
That must have been.
That sucks.
And yet this place survived all those years not serving liquor.
Yeah.
So to speak.
I mean, it was under the table back in the day. But
sure.
Yeah. It was Edmonton's worst kept secret. So not like a huge deal. Like they sold on the table, big deal.
Right. Well,
it happened.
Yeah. So why is that though?
Well, he had a hard time getting his liquor license. It was just a different time.
Yeah.
I think he had a lot of, bad press or just a lot, out against him. So he just couldn't get it. For me, it was like a fresh face, I guess.
Sure.
And a lot of time has transpired since it was more in the news and stuff. So, yeah. So for me, I didn't think I was going to get my liquor license either. It was sort of like a pipe dream.
Sure.
And it was like, I just applied. And, they told me I had to do all this shit.
Right.
So I said, okay. And
you did it.
Started doing all this shit.
Like what kind of stuff? Like fixing certain things? Or?
Fuck. So much. So the first big thing was, okay, you can't have lap dancing and liquor sales in the same area.
Oh.
Okay, that is literally in the Alberta Gaming Liquor Act. You can't have private dancing. So if you sell booze, you can't have private dancing. Well, everybody has that.
Well, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, okay, so now the question is how, right? So there's a loophole, and the loophole is you have an area where you don't have alcohol sales. So it's a separate business.
Oh.
Yeah, so you need but the thing is to have a separate business is you can't walk through your business to get to a separate business. You have to have a separate entrance. So for me, it really was like working with my landlord, my grandfather's friend, and just we just had this one floor before and got the whole building. So we started building the lap dance room upstairs. So that was the biggest thing. That was, me and a buddy, like over a year's worth of work.
Wow.
Lumber, drywall.
Sure.
Just fucking
general contracting now.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, because I had general contractors and they all sucked. And it was just like, I was just getting ripped off.
You want something, you want a lap dance room built right?
Yeah, well, I was thinking having plumbers, charge me $3-4 grand for a job that's $200 because I don't know what I was doing or because they see the club. They think strip club, big money, right?
Sure.
So, just over time, now I have the most amazing plumber. Just the best guy ever, and just over time I've met these people, so it's given me the ability to, do these little things myself. So yeah, that was the big one, the lap dance rooms. So we had to get that set up. So then we got that set up, and it was like, okay, well, what are we going to do? So we shut down, and I shut down for about a month or two. We moved everything upstairs. We had 2 tables up there and a couple girls working. Okay. And just for the lap dancing. And we renovated down here. So replacing the old dishwasher and upgrading the bar and the biggest thing was the floors. I laid 5,000 pounds worth of tile. Holy shit. With me and a buddy. And that was like a $5,000-6,000 investment just in materials.
Looks good.
It looks incredible. Yeah. Tile all the way, man. Fuck carpet.
Yeah, I bet for a place like this.
Oh, it was so fucking disgusting. I found some French guy who was a buddy of my buddy, and he was like a demo guy, and he pulled up that carpet. It was the most disgusting shit I've ever fucking seen. Guess what was underneath that? More carpet.
Oh no,
he had to pull that. Yeah, double carpet. Yeah, he had to pull that up too. Yeah. Yeah, you think that was a one-day job?
Smells great too, I bet.
Oh, fuck, man. So gross. So, like, yeah, that was a big thing, man.
Yeah.
We had carpet for years. Carpet.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It was
I
always,
can't imagine that.
Oh, it was like back in the
It's
day.
a sponge.
Yeah, well, back in the day, like, I guess it was more like shag, so it was sort of cool.
It's cool, yeah.
Like, yeah, but like,
I mean, I guess we're sitting on there's carpet right here.
this is commercial grade carpet that I
Okay.
put in.
Oh.
This is proper bar carpet.
Okay.
And it was quite expensive. But it's
course.
been over 10 years now.
It's held up.
Yeah, it's held up. Yeah, so, but that was the biggest thing was like, we never had the food service permit. So yeah, getting the tile floors in and upgrading the place was a huge amount of work. So we did all this work and then come out of it. You know, I'm supposed to get my liquor license October 2012. And it's like, no, you fail. And it was like, oh no.
Great.
And like I just spent so much money and just
And for what?
years of time, like the whole over a year doing the upstairs, and then just like the last month or two, just fucking flying, you know. And it was like, what do I do? And so we opened with no booze. People would come into the bar with no booze and be like, what the fuck is going on here? Well, like maybe I'd make like, you know, a couple $100, and I would use that couple $100 to, you know, get an exit sign
Sure.
or an emergency light or replace an old emergency light or, you know, like whatever deficiency they found that made me fail. So that was like another page or two worth of stuff. I think I went through that another 2 or 3 times. So, yeah, so that was quite the struggle. And so, funny side note,
Sure.
actually, this is how all this movie stuff came about, too, because Sean Donnelly films Gone by Dawn 2. And, yeah, so he did all this work. I hadn't gotten my liquor license, yada, yada, just struggling hard. And, yeah, he sends me this email. Hey, man, filming this movie, my pet project, and working on this for a long time, and yeah, cool. So like, yeah, that actually like saved me. That was like a 7-day shoot.
Oh wow.
And like it was like a real production, like craft services and like 50 people working, and like, you know, like I made a little bit of money, and like huge, you know, that was this huge, incredible timing, and that sort of honestly helped me get through. It wasn't until, so that was October 2012 I was supposed to get it. It wasn't until March 2013, so another 6 months.
Okay.
I went through inspections and just continuous stuff like that. Because you got to be certified by fire, police, health, city. So there's 4 or 5 agencies that you have to certify you, right?
Sure,
so
sure.
Especially a place like this older, right?
They're looking.
Well, yeah,
hard,
yeah, and yeah, it's an old place. That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like so yeah. After 6 months of that, it was 2 days before St. Patrick's Day, and yeah, the fire marshal gave me. The fire marshal was the last one, and he gave me the okay. And he hadn't even left the building, and we were just like, whoa, yeah.
Good timing.
And like legit, I was so broke. Like my buddy, thank God, man, still around. Yeah, he lent me $500, and I spent all that money to go buy booze. I had no money to buy booze. And liquor license, no alcohol.
Right.
A couple days before St. Patrick's Day. And yeah, we got it. And yeah, we got it going. And it was still slow as fuck because nobody knew we had a liquor license.
Right. Took a while to get that news out.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. And yeah, totally. But even now, so 8 years ago now. Yeah. Yeah, Chez Pierre's is that place with no liquor license. Like, fuck!
No, it's not!
God damn it, man! How do you shake it?
How do you shake it?
Doing stuff like this.
Sure, getting the word out.
Yeah.
So I guess to wrap it up, like I'm hearing all these stories about all the struggle and all the time and everything.
Go another 15 minutes.
I love it. What is it personally that keeps you going? Why do you feel the need to keep this going? Because you could easily, this is probably a headache some days.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is some days. I don't know. I got a weird amount of drive, I guess.
Okay.
You
can't say no.
I'm a people pleaser. Have a hard time saying no.
What would you do if not this, though? Like what?
Tons of stuff, man. I went to Grant McEwen.
Right.
So I got my management diploma.
Okay.
But yeah, like I want to go back to school and do my engineering.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, totally want to be as like a scientist or an engineer or something. And I'm, falling behind a little bit. But yeah, I was working on my upgrading and stuff. I had to upgrade a couple classes to get back in. But yeah, I want to do that.
So there is a next chapter for you. It's not just here.
Tons. Like my big goal is like pre-COVID, this place was just humming.
Yeah.
No problem, man. And like when you have proper staff that can open up for you and you trust everybody, like I had some free time on my hands, and I can get back there where I have enough free time on my hands to go to U of A, and I want to do like my computer engineering or my electrical engineering or something. Cool. Yeah. Science fascinates me, man, and I want to spend the rest of my fucking time here. As much as I love this place, like I'm a smart guy, I want to go back to university.
Yeah, there's a bigger world out there, I guess.
I say I love school, but that's a lie. I fucking hated it. School is a nightmare, but like I did it, and I went through university. I worked here every night, 3-4 in the morning, and I was up for class, 8-9. And it sucked, but I did it, and at least now with the place more set up, like I could have somebody running it, and I could go to school this time and with a better head, I think.
Yeah. So are you actively looking for someone maybe to come in under you now?
Like I said earlier, fall from the sky.
Sure, so maybe that guy is.
Let's just stick with that, because whenever I actively look, I don't find what I want. So
interesting.
Yeah.
What does your grandpa say much about the place anymore, or is he is it?
No, I think he's likes coming in here. I think he's proud of the place, man. Yeah. Last time he was here, I just formidable, right? And it's like fabulous. Like,
it's gotta mean a lot.
Well, the place looks great, Patrick. Like it does. Like even since Give and Take, like we added these stanchions. We had old wooden ones before. Like the whole club is just shiny.
It is.
It is,
especially with the house lights on, I bet.
Yeah. With the stage lights on, like it smells good, and there's no fruit flies anymore, and my dishwasher works. Good. And it's all these amazing things. Really amazing things. Like I just walk in here and like I'm in awe of how awesome it looks. It looks fucking great in here, man. And that was just lots of work.
Lots of work.
Yeah.
It's great though that you can see that work and that it will endure for as long as.
Yeah, well, as long as I'm here, man. As long as I'm here, my landlord's good.
Yeah.
I'm paying my rent. That's what matters.
He's happy.
He's happy right now. One day, this place is old. One day someone's going to come through here and demo it.
Right.
I'll cry that day, but
sure.
That's progress, I guess.
I guess.
Right?
I guess it is, but this is an institution of Edmonton.
It is.
Well,
you know what? The thing is, how I see it is, Chez Pierre's. It's not a place, man. It's not a place. It's an idea. It's a brand.
Sure.
It is. It's, that T-shirt you got with the Chez Pierre logo on it.
Do those exist?
Yeah, dude. They do. I'm not wearing mine right now.
Can I get one?
Yeah,
I'll buy one.
I'll get you one. At $40, I'll get you the staff price.
Appreciate it.
But quick side note, side story. But one of these guys, he's coming here, and he had a shirt, Chez Pierre shirt from like the 80s.
Oh yes.
And it was yellow shirt, girl on it, Chez Pierre, this big old Chez Pierre logo. And legit, he had this shirt for 20, 30 years. He only ever wore it when he's coming to the club. He'd come in a full suit, always in a full suit. Right. And then he'd go to his table, he'd sit down, he'd start taking his jacket off. He'd take his jacket off.
Like Superman.
He'd take his vest off. And he'd take his collared shirt off. And there was the yellow Chez Pierre shirt on. And he'd sit there having his drink with his yellow Chez Pierre shirt on.
That's money. A customer you want.
Oh, yeah. I vividly remember that. Being this guy is committed. This is a regular. This is how you keep a business alive.
People like that.
So, yeah, I've been doing the problem is I buy stuff and then I give it away. Because you have good customers that come in and, giving them a shirt or a toque. So, Yeah, toques are good. I like giving away toques, yeah.
I guess it's marketing in a way for you. It's like it gets your brand out into the street.
I give people stuff, they wear it every day. Like, legit. Like that hoodie.
Yeah.
That hoodie, I've given hoodies to people, and like it's 2-3 years, and they're still wearing that hoodie every day. And like you can't ask for better marketing than that.
No, because
no.
And it's a conversation starter. It's like, oh, Chez Pierre, what's that? Some strip club? No, let me tell you what it is.
Oh, totally. I was at Safeway the other day, and I was wearing my Chez Pierre hat, and the ladies behind the teller were just telling me just the most amazing stories of how her aunt used to dance here back in the 80s, and they just had the blast coming here, and it's just like, it's just so cool to see them like relive that former glory too, even if it's just like in a memory with a dude standing in a Safeway cash aisle. Like, they don't know me, but I'm like, oh, I own Chez Pierre's, and they're just like, what? Oh yeah, my grandpa's Pierre. No way.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Chez Pierre Cochard, man. Are you guys open? Like, like yeah, we're open. No way. I heard that place shut down.
Damn it.
Like, I hear that every day. Like, every day. It's bizarre.
Is there something you feel like you could do to keep your name to?
What do you do, man?
I don't know.
I've done it. I've like we're talking about the Vice article. Like, it was one of their most translated articles. Like, people know about this place. People care, but like, you know, it's hard to change some people's minds when they just have that in their mind that this place is seedy or it doesn't have a liquor license or whatever. You know, the only way you can really change that is by having them come in.
Have them come in.
Yeah.
Pay the $10 and
pay the $10. Come find out for yourself. And that used to be the best because when I was working the door and people didn't want to pay cover.
Oh no.
I just pointed at the sign.
It's right there.
I literally have to say nothing. I point at the sign.
It's interesting that you say that. It's like you met some people that relived a memory with you about this place, and maybe that's what this place is about: is uniting people and bringing people together in a community.
Totally. I think so, man. Like, too many times I've seen like fathers and sons.
Oh
like,
boy.
Like totally.
That's
like,
awesome.
Like, you know, it's my son's 18th birthday. Yeah, my dad's taking here for my 18th. He came here on his 18th birthday.
Oh, gee.
Like,
that's what it's about in
it
some
is.
way.
Like,
yeah.
I didn't go to the strip club on my 18th birthday, but my dad took me out and we went to all the bars in hometown, and like that is like that your bachelor party or whatever, or your bachelorette party or your birthday party, like, you know, this place has got to stick around, man. It's got to be around. Everybody tells me that.
Yeah.
Everybody I talk to, Jesse, you got to keep it going.
And you will for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it going, man.
Beautiful.
I'm going to keep it going. Maybe it's going to be a mobile act one day. I don't know.
Oh, I guess that's where we're headed, right? Maybe it'll just be an app.
An app or a virtual show, or who knows?
You don't, I guess, day by day, right?
Just day by day, man. That's all I can do.
Right on. Well, Jesse, I think you're doing your grandpa proud. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Patrick. We'll definitely do it again sometime.
Absolutely. When you're open fully for shows, I'll be here.
We'll do we'll do a podcast live while we're open.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, everybody. You can hear all the chatter in the background.
I love that idea, man. All right, book it. Thanks, Jesse.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you for listening to the North Bank Media Podcast. If you enjoy this conversation, please subscribe on YouTube and give us a like. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please subscribe as well and leave a 5-star review.